So you guys, so Anarian was taken away to what was essentially known as the residence, where you guys had followed closely behind. You guys got there, had a certain time limit on when to infiltrate. Basically went in guns blazing. A couple of you almost died. Thankfully, rolls were in your favor for the most part.
Besides stealth.
Yeah, stealth.
I-
Stealth was decent.
Yeah.
Um,
When we attempted stealth, that is.
you found Anarian being held captive by Stown, but due to the circumstances of the situation, to your knowledge, ended up getting away. The place was ransacked by individuals. As you guys tried to escape, these individuals had an insignia on their armor.
Like a chained up bird or something?
It was a bird skull within a chain circle, I believe.
Yes.
Just after being shackled, these individuals essentially round you guys up. Now, within the scene, what you guys are seeing, the residence is lit ablaze, burning to the ground. There's bodies everywhere. The guards are essentially wiped out. Bags are thrown over your heads as you are walked to some vehicle, some sort of transportation.
Mesa can still see.
Well, basic. You can't really see. You just have sense, right?
Yeah, it's different from seeing.
It's like so blind sight can be termed in a different ways. In particular, it's often hearing. So it's just like, I know you're there. I can't describe how you look, but I know your presence is there.
Yeah. So you can't see. You're just aware of your surroundings. You're not going to run into the wall, but you would not anyway. Because anyways, moving on. You are being walked to a vehicle. Overhearing various voices. Nobody that you can really recall. These are all voices you've never heard before. You do hear mentions of several other captees in within their ranks, or with the people that they've taken from the residence. Most likely government officials or something along those lines. You're still not too sure what this...
I'm still listening.
You're good. You're still not entirely sure what exactly is going on and who these individuals represent. Why would they want to create such a disturbance between the Lothlorien government and the Barhassian people? As to your knowledge, those are the only people that were there on official business, essentially. Those muffled voices that I talked about, as you sit in whatever vehicle you're in, chained up, all kind of sitting within, like, next to each other, amongst maybe a couple other people that just by the numbers that you guys know, there's more than 5 people or more than 4 people within the back of this vehicle. Eventually, somewhere along the line, somewhere along the trail, as you guys have been moving now for quite some time, you are knocked unconscious sometime in the middle of the night. Your sense of time is sort of skewed whenever you awaken. Bags still over your heads, unsure of the amount of time that has went by. However, at some point, you guys begin to hear the sounds of the sea.
Does that include me? Am I still
Vaguely.
unconscious?
You can, you're conscious. You can hear stuff, but you're in a state like you can't talk. You're not aware. You're aware of what's going on around you, but you're out of it essentially.
He's locked in.
Yeah. You feel you are stable. The individuals, whoever these people are, because you awaken essentially not knowing really much of anything. Let me take you to one-on-one really quick.
Yeah. It was about 8 years. Yeah. Did at any point during this, did my patron try to, did he say anything or make his presence known or anything like that? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Just curious since all my powers and shit come from him, so I didn't know if he mentioned or if he had, if I felt more invigorated from him since we got that level and I've got new spells and new shit from my warlock abilities. Just curious.
So,
Welcome back.
as you guys come to the sounds of the beach, this sort of harbor village ambiance of seagulls and the smell of salt water, the sort of memories of what's happening over the next week or so fade in and out. You're boarding something, some other vehicle that you can presume to maybe be a boat. Not long after departing, I will bring you guys to this. As you come upon and awake Arosi, Sylvia, and Iljor.
First thing, wait, am I supposed to be able to see anything?
Yes, you essentially, as you come...
I can see nothing.
He means in the game, like on Foundry, because I can't see shit either.
Yeah.
Same.
Unless there's a blindfold experience behind this, which would be amazing. DM has intended all of this. Although I don't think Foundry would allow that with such ease. Off the cuff.
Vision now?
Mm,
Nope.
Mm-mm.
I can see that we're in the thing called the holding block, but we may be lacking global vision of some sort, or
Is there any light
You-
fixtures? Are there?
There's light.
our character tokens are, if there are character tokens, are not.
There are character
cap-
tokens.
Hmm.
Sylvia, you can't see?
No.
What now?
No.
Maybe it's because our characters aren't selected for us. I don't know.
Aren't selected for, what do you mean?
Like it, I don't know. Like if we don't have our character selected, I don't know if that has an impact or not.
Here, I'm gonna reload.
Yeah, reload.
I'll wait for Eli to reload before I do.
Yeah, I should only be a second.
I
Oh.
still got nothing.
What is going on here?
Everybody reload.
I did.
Will do.
Yeah,
Did it work, Eli?
I reloaded. I still don't see anything. But when I'm zooming in, I'm seeing something at the bottom of the screen. It's very strange. It's like it's
Oh.
not letting me. It's like there's a black box covering whatever I'm.
Let me reload.
Yeah. Sometimes
Attribute
Foundry
class.
has its hiccups.
Attribute classes sorcerer.
Don't worry about it.
levels.
Don't worry about it. I know what that is.
Wait, I saw stuff for a second.
He was granted
Something.
sights, and then he was robbed.
Okay.
I can't see anything.
Okay, you know, it doesn't really matter. Let me just try to do this.
Yeah, it seems like there's.
I don't know why you guys can't see. There's literally nothing different from this than any. But now.
Oh.
My door popped up. The door symbols are up, but that is it.
Oh yeah.
I can see the
Yes. I'll bring it.
like the symbols to open or close a door, the little icons.
Yeah.
But that is
I
it.
can-
It's just all in a black box.
Yeah, there is a mild border to the black box. Like I can
Yeah.
see, like around here,
Oh,
some mild.
It's really
detail.
like we just don't have light, or like there's no light.
Oh, I can click on my character token. I know it's right here.
Nice.
No,
You
everyone
cannot
can click
take
on
this
that.
action while the
Oh.
game is currently paused. Try unpausing
Try
the
and
game.
pausing.
I can't. Yeah, I still can't. Well, I can open this door or what?
Put a
I
light
have no
on one
clue
of us.
where I am.
What door? Well, how are you opening that door? You're not even by there.
I'm opening. You see? You see the door I'm opening?
I can also open up the door.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Bro, what?
Some guards are freaking out right now.
yeah.
What is going on, Foundry?
Try
Yeah.
like put a torch on one of us.
We've
Yeah,
become ghosts.
Let me highlight myself if I can click myself here.
What the hell? Okay, are you guys seeing, like, if you move your camera, like, are you seeing like part of it at the bottom of your screen?
I
Oh.
can see
No,
I'm
the
seeing
borders of the map. Like there's a little bit of
Yeah.
a white part and it fades to darkness over here.
Yes.
There's a
Get
little
over here.
orange circle.
Yeah,
You're
I see
looking at
that.
me
Oh
here?
yeah, that's his
Yeah.
his character tokens. Like got a like a something
Oh,
on.
you,
it.
you guys talking about right here?
No.
Yeah, that's the edge of the map.
Trying to.
And the lights are on. People are home, but it's still somehow dark inside.
I even reloaded the image like with it like the background image.
Unless you have a overlaying image on top of that.
Is it
but-
like your
no.
night? Because I know you have like this day-night
No.
shifter. in
No,
the
no.
games.
I'm actually seeing I'm seeing it, but like a very tiny sliver at the bottom of my screen. That's the only part that's visible for me. So
All I
I'm-
can see is the edge of the box.
I've
Oh.
selected my token.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
you're right next to me. You're right here. I'm right here. Guys, we should have a session like this where everyone is just in pitch blackness.
Where am I?
Narion's right here.
I am.
Yeah.
Let me try.
So,
Let me try
double-click
getting the landing page back and then
Oh.
putting you guys back. Yeah, hold on.
yeah. Let's do that. Let's do a little bit of switch back here.
I'm getting the same thing.
Same deal. Yeah.
Now I can't even see the doors.
I see Eljor and stuff.
What?
Just at the bottom of my screen, like I said.
Well, let me try to move you guys.
I mean, I can move
see that
myself
door.
Oh, I see the doors moving.
Yeah, I can see that door image right there, and then that ended up making this one visible down here.
Both of the doors are disappeared again.
So, hold on.
Welcome to the D&D session of What the Fuck is Wrong with Foundry?
Yeah.
It's an adventure nonetheless. Adventure I'm happy to
Damn.
be along for.
Version 9 is just wiped from the fucking it's just no longer supported, I guess. What the fuck?
Oh wow, yeah.
Oh, it is?
Imagine.
No, I'm just fucking with you. But I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
That'd be tragic. Absolutely tragic.
Everybody has vision.
Everybody has vision. There's light in the room.
Like a fog of war
Let me
thing?
try to
Like-
have you guys emit light from yourselves. Hold on.
That's what I was gonna say. Try and throw a torch on
Yeah.
someone.
I don't even think that's the problem. Like I said, I'm still seeing like the
Unless
bottom
you-
of the
What is
screen.
special
but
about
there's
Sylvie
something-
compared to all the other characters?
I don't think it's my character. I think it's just something about my connection or something.
Hold on. Let me take you guys back to the landing
don't know.
page. Let me go into that and then try removing the
Yeah.
background image and then re-adding it again.
Oh, wow, this has been some 2 weeks.
Yeah.
1 week?
You have no idea the amount of time that has went by.
It's been a lot of darkness here. Not even I can
Right.
penetrate this.
My head hurts a lot.
Oh yeah.
I'm getting the same thing.
Oh, wait, I saw Basic and Nick for half a second.
I can click on a Rosi once more. That's an Arion right there. I hover my cursor around. There we go.
I wonder if I can just stream.
Might be our only option.
I'm just gonna stream, and you guys. fucking
We
watch
cannot
it.
see any of that.
Well, you guys are seeing it now. Everybody tune into the Discord stream. This is how we're gonna do it. At least this scene, and we'll figure out what happens next.
Is that motherfucking Stalin Vespi?
As you guys sort of actually come to for the first time, you have been transported various places. You don't remember getting in here. You don't remember who you've seen. You don't remember who you've interacted with. You don't know what the hell is going on. This is your first time really coming back to reality and having a sense of self for the first time in a while. Now,
I can still move my character around too.
Well, we can see all the DM stuff.
I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna murder this guy.
No, that's for me. You stand away.
the sounds
I'll
of
let you do
creaking
the
wood.
honors.
The sounds of
That
creaking
man is
wood are
mine.
heard over the waves crashing along the walls. The sense of death and despair linger within the walls around you. This is a very dimly lit place that's smells of salt water and stink, as you are within some sort of holding cell within the
Managed to
ship.
find myself.
A Narian. You are stable. However, I would like you to take 1 point of exhaustion. Holy shit.
All right.
For the foreseeable future until whenever it goes away or whenever we'll look into it
Until
later, but-
rest.
Yeah, until
Uncurse me.
yes, your hands are actually still shackled. Looking down at these shackles, they appear to give off a blue hue. Turn it down a little bit. These shackles have chains going from one shackle to the other. However, they don't have a set length. You're free to move them at will, but they are always bound.
So like they shrink, like it shrinks and grows as we move our arms.
Exactly.
Okay.
Um,
So it's like always tight, but we can, or is there like slack to it? You know what I mean?
it's controlled by some unknown mechanism, but as it stands right now in the cell, you're free to move your hands, but you can see the wisps of blue kind of going from one shackle to the other. You know you're bound by something, and the mechanism is unknown, but you're nonetheless, you're not exactly sure what it inhibits you to do, but it is some sort of restraining device.
Okay. Sylvia's gonna try to cast Thaumaturgy. It only requires a verbal component, and it's a cantrip. So
Okay.
I'm just gonna cause the flames around us to flicker.
Okay, as you begin to cast the spell, you mutter your incantation, and the magic within your fingertips sparks, and nothing happens. As the blue within your shackles begins to brighten and then dim in a moment's notice.
Well, I can't use any magic. I don't think any of us can.
Well,
Well,
I still have our fists.
Let me try. Because I use divine magic. Or you use divine magic too, don't you?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
No, you, there's that style right there. You want me to hold them? You want me to hold them for you?
You hear a voice. Please don't do that, and do not use magic, as it is obviously not working. You see he is also shackled, hands upon the cell, looking out over the individuals that are in the other cell.
Was that him talking?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I did. So we're all awake, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're groggy.
But I can see
Yes.
down in this cell with us.
Yes.
I'm going to. Do I have movement? I'm free to move. In
Yeah.
This...
You're free to move, yeah. You're feeling
I'm
groggy
just-
and weak, but
That's fine. I'm just making
Okay.
sure. I'm going to run over and just I don't know what the fuck's going on, why this guy's here, why everybody else is here. I'm going to charge this man and slam him up against the cell door
okay.
or the cell wall.
Make a strength check with disadvantage. He will also make a strength check with disadvantage.
Why has it got me strength?
Because you chose to do it the strengthy way.
I can't do it charismatically.
Verbally
why don't
assault
you-
him.
Go ahead and
Destroy
throw
him.
yourself into those bars.
Hang on one sec, sorry.
Actually, I'm gonna help him. I'm gonna help my friend here. I'm gonna hold up. Rosie's gonna try to hold
Hey.
up Stow
Okay.
here. While we're all
Anarian,
down here.
Anarian, make a
Hang on,
strength
I
check
can't
without
even.
disadvantage.
I'm trying, man. I can't even fucking access my character sheet.
Yeah, so I would go in the top right menu, the third one from the left.
I
Is
got
gonna
it
be the
now.
actors directory. Yeah, you got it.
No, I knew where it was. It just wasn't opening.
All of Foundry's just fun.
Yeah.
A saving throw or an ability check?
Ability check. Without disadvantage, just normal.
Yeah, just normal. Ooh, 15.
Hey!
You said 15?
I have a -1.
Oof. That's fine. He rolled a nat 1, and with his bonuses, he got nowhere near that. So as you kind of run up, you're trying to just charge him? Like, what exactly are you trying to do?
I'm trying to slam him up against the cell doors and like have my arm to his throat, basically. Like my
a
forearm
shoulder
pressed up
tackle,
against him.
Like,
As you run up to him, he, seemingly with his back turned to you, you run up on him, you press him against the jail cell wall. He kind of swiftly turns around as you take your elbow to his throat. Arosa, you're following shortly behind, basically kind of helping and standing guard. As you have your arms to his throat, he barely gets out a word. I wouldn't do that if I were you.
You son of a bitch! You explain to me what's going on right now.
I wish I could, but I cannot.
Sylvia puts her hand on Anarion's shoulder and says, I don't think there's any use in this because odds are the guards are coming at any moment.
Look directly into Sylvia's eyes and say, I have no reason to not gut this man right now.
I understand.
Let me ask you a question. Why is it that you hate me so much?
He's disconnected. Okay. He's back.
That was dude. No, your camera froze at the perfect time.
Oh, did it?
Dude, it was so it was so good.
I'm gonna. Can I kick Stan in the shin?
Uh,
I'm gonna
Did
kick
it?
him in
Did
the
my-
shin.
Say again.
Did my mic freeze too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, what did he say? Why do I hate him?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Look at what you did, who you helped to do, and who you're working for to the city that my family and all the other families strove to build.
Yeah. What did I do?
You've ruined that place.
Who do I work for? What do you know?
What do I know? Explain to me why I'm such a wanted man, and why you go into the government building every single day. You clearly made out. You benefited from surviving that night in the throne room.
How so? Tell me. Since you know everything. How do you know? What do you know?
You're the one that needs to explain to me why I shouldn't hate you.
Guilt falls on the accuser. Yeah, you gotta prove that
I'd better
he's
start
guilty.
talking if I were you, buddy. I mean, there's more of us in here than there are of you.
Do you think it was actively my plan when your father... Well... As he kind of takes a gulp as trying to rest your hand down so that he could speak. Your father and us, the group I was with, it wasn't our idea to bring him down. It wasn't anything that we'd have liked to seen happen.
Bring my father down.
The coup, the overthrow of your father. Look, you can hate me all you like, but I did what I had to do. It was my job.
What did you have to do? Explain. The man, that wanderer, entered his court, and all of a sudden he started making decisions
And I don't know
against
why. And I've been thinking of reasons. But you came in that night, ravaged, angry. It was our job to protect the king, and you had to just go and murder him.
There was nothing that could be done to save him at that point. He had made his decision. He had turned against the people.
And maybe he had.
That man had gotten into his head, and if you don't work for him, then explain to me where he went, what's going on now, who is in charge of the city if not him.
Maybe you had, but now you will never know. Because you murdered him. What were we supposed to do? We served your father, not you. What did you expect us to do in that moment?
Well, when I get sent to deal with a rebellion and I get ambushed by a third party that worked for him.
Cut out again, yeah.
Cut
Why
out
is my
again.
fucking internet doing that?
A third party that what?
That I assumed worked for him. The stranger. The man who found my father's ear.
You and I can both agree that we did not like that man, that individual, and I have no idea what happened to him. But we take an oath to serve the one in charge.
There's no one in charge. The houses ruled equally. That was the whole purpose. And he changed that.
We must see it from different perspectives, but there's nothing we could have really done. Ostracized? Killed? Who knows? Look, this matter, this coup, this third party is beyond your understanding, beyond mine. After that night, I did what I had to do to survive. I took responsibility for the death of your father. And I was shown mercy for it. This group that came in and turned Starstrider Hold upside down did so fairly easily. The chaos, I believe I was the only one from the old regime that actually survived. And
I don't think so.
I've been thinking. And disregarding the fact that we had to find you, the son of the prior lord, like they were looking for you. That was that I was put in charge of that. There's nothing I could have done. I couldn't stop hunting you. What would you have done?
Well, you have a first-hand account of what my rash decisions end up being. Patricide, regicide. I get captured on my own volition. I need more information if I'm to trust you, first off.
The night the man had come and spoke to your father for the first time, the air within the guard was... It was something else. It was like something had infiltrated. Well, something did, but it felt like your father wasn't making decisions for himself. Obviously, I know that. We all know that. We did what we had to do. We followed orders from who we had to follow. It was either that or death, I'm afraid. There wasn't much choice. Now, when you came in, barging in, angry, we understood your anger. I understood your anger. I can't speak for my fellow men. But the environment of the city that night, the danger we were all in, I chose a side. And I chose the side that I thought would benefit me more. The side of the rulers.
The side isn't to benefit yourself. It should have been to benefit the city. Clearly, you made the wrong decision. Have you seen the poverty and despair that the people of Star Striderhold live in now?
And do you think I like it more than you?
Well, you clearly put up with it. I took action, at least. Let's get this straight. Let's get this straight. You did not understand anything close to the anger I felt that night. You weren't marched into the market square to put down a rebellion that your friends were a part of, only to watch another group of well-armed individuals walk and slaughter every single one of us, me included, Durik, all of my men, put down. But I was brought back to life to right the wrongs that my father made.
I think there's a rash generalizations in Arian. I think you've let the hatred of what had happened spew over to literally everybody that was involved. I understand a fraction of your anger. And I do not say that I understand what you went through that night. However, let me educate you on exactly my place in Lothloran. Eyes were on me for the first few years within the new government. I was one of the, if not the only one, from the old government that was even playing a part.
One moment. If you're truly telling the truth, and I turn to Sylvia, then you won't mind if my friend here makes sure of it.
Well, we can't use magic here.
We'll see about it when we get him out from behind bars here.
I didn't know we couldn't use magic. Since I haven't tested that, I don't think anybody said anything. I try to use something of my own.
You would have noticed that Sylvia.
In the first bit, I tried to cast thaumaturgy and said I couldn't fast.
Well,
My
Kinda
character's
character.
delirious. And, yeah, like
Delirious.
he's.
Yeah.
As you begin to conjure some cantrip or some sort of magical spell, it begins to spark and spew as the blue hues of your shackles begin to brighten and then dim as you see Stown as well kind of poke up a hand and begin to snap, and where a small little flame would have been begins to sputter and flicker and then eventually just dissipate.
Remove my forearm from his throat. I'll still stand directly in front of him. Speak. I will listen.
He clears his throat. I was watched for years. One of the few remaining, if not the only one remaining, from the old government. Lord Illigan. The new guy in charge kept close watch on me. I felt like I couldn't leave. I felt like I couldn't do anything without the eyes of the new government within me. It was hard. I can't say I completely understand the way you feel about what happened that night, but I have my own reasons for doing what I did, and I did them to survive. Now, don't take that as an indication that we see eye to eye, because I don't think we do. However, the way I see it is sort of the enemy of my enemy. I don't ask forgiveness for my role in what happened. But as you can see, the same walls encapsulate us where we are. Does that not say anything?
Just because. Now I understand. We may be captured by the same people at the moment. But that doesn't mean that you're not working for the wrong people either.
No.
And
Does
let's not
anybody know
forget,
who actually did
not all of
capture
this is
us?
in the past, because, I mean, just recently, you've put some kind of curse or something on Anarion and
Me?
nearly killed us.
If we truly are working on the same side, even if we have different viewpoints, then explain.
Whoa, these accusations, this curse I put, what are you saying?
You did something to Anarion, didn't you?
Did I?
But
I'm gonna
it-
try to see, like, can I
It
tell if
seems
he's
to be
telling the
resolved
truth?
now.
Can I?
You
Insight
like to
check.
do insight check?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rosie's gonna step up to him, and I'm gonna roll intimidation. In
Nat
fact, you
20,
did.
baby!
At 20. Arissa said you're trying to intimidate?
Yeah, I'm gonna do intimidation. I'm gonna tell him. In fact, you did do something to him. Tell us. Got an 18. Oh, 22.
22.
Damn.
As his gaze diverts from Sylvia directly into your eyes, Arosi, as you see this glimmer along the torchlight in his dark brown eyes, you see curiosity as he turns to Sylvia. Do you have any evidence that I did this, or are you just accusing? Because it seems like this whole thing is about you versus me. You guys versus myself.
Ooh.
Down.
So
Here's
why
the
were
issue.
you in the room with him then?
I have, this entire time, I have been on a vendetta, a mission of vengeance against you and the stranger and anybody that worked for him. I need you. And Anarion has like a look of like pleading almost in his eyes, like he wants to be able to forgive somebody finally for something. I need you to give me a reason to change that path of vengeance to a path of forgiveness towards you.
I did not work for that man. I worked for your father. I did what your father told me to do, and when to do it, and when I could. The individual that walked in that night changed him,
I agree.
and I could not have walked away. I could not have walked away.
You know, up until that night, we followed a similar path. I did what my father asked. To the letter. I marched to that market where that rebellion was gathering to put down friends. You know we followed a similar path. I understand. However, the difference is I saw how he had changed. And you may have seen it too, but you continued to follow his orders to the letter. And that is the problem. Now, if you seek to make amends, if you really have been trying to fight this the entire time and, well, let's say working from the inside to change things, then we need to make it happen.
I haven't been able to do much. I haven't been able to do what I'd like to do. It has solely been me. Everybody that I work for and work with doesn't understand what everybody went through that night. And I've tried so hard to integrate myself while still maintaining my empathy.
Well, integration is not the path. Apparently, the path is rebellion and regicide again, if this is going to change. Are you certain this new leader is not the same stranger that found my father's ear?
It is my understanding throughout my few years of research here and there that the man who is now running Lotharen is not the stranger, but some sort of patsy, some sort of pawn put there by someone else. And this is where it gets interesting, because while I haven't had a lot of time to really try to find out and really dig into what happened and who this third party might have been, as he begins to look over his shoulder, making sure there are no eavesdroppers. This kind of thing is happening, not just where we lived. York and Falkirk. Where's the other place? Paweco and Yucatan. These places have suffered sort of the same fate as Starstrider hold. Accounts of an individual or individuals integrating themselves into the government, and it all comes back to a coup, some sort of rebellion in the cities. A new government is put in place, and for what reason, I don't know.
Followed by poverty and despair.
I don't know if they're instilling some sort of religion, some sort of worldview, why they are going to various cities, and primarily the northwestern world and the western world in general, in doing this. It's a theory that I'm working with. But as for right now, where we're going, I don't know.
I don't either. However,
I don't know these people, if they work for the people that are doing this. I know nothing. But obviously, since I'm here, I have not played my part.
I look to the others. You all found me, clearly. What happened?
So
Who are these people?
So we were trying to find you. As soon as you got into the cart and left, we had Arosi follow your tracks, and me and Iljor retrieved the cart and went on the road to follow. And we eventually came across where Ston had been, and it was a big, I don't know, stronghold, I
Was
guess you'd call it.
It was a fort of some
Complex.
sort, but made for residents.
A complex.
And there were guards everywhere.
What do
And
guards look like?
So
Well, they
were
couldn't
pretty
talk.
armored, pretty heavily armored. And
The guards were very
none-
similar to regular Lothlorien guards.
They looked like any other Lothlorien guard, except their faces were like their mouths were sealed shut.
My skin.
And
Why is this down?
They didn't want people to talk. Certain discussions, certain topics, certain people from around the world, certain political affiliations. That place was there to facilitate all that. And they didn't want anybody to talk.
I look back to Sylvia.
so we tried to basically sneak in. And
Not very
well, we got spotted a couple times. Orosi was a little bit ahead of the group. He was, I mean, you were kind of rushing.
I was worried about your
Through
safety,
to-
Narion. I felt there was some time pressure, and when I
didn't-
scried upon you, you were on
Right,
the
but
floor.
he was more aggressive and
I slaughtered a lot of the guards.
yeah.
What color dragon are you?
I'm
Mason?
sorry.
Gold.
I didn't realize that. I thought I would have more control. I didn't realize it would. I was unconscious for so long. I don't remember anything. My memories are so shattered, just like that night
Yeah.
in the keep.
Well, you know, the situation happened. Nothing we can do about it now. Eventually, we went upstairs after going around and trying to look through buildings. We went into what we believed was the main building where everyone was having, of the group that Ston led here, were having discussions. We went upstairs and went down the first hallway we thought you might be in, and we looked into the keyhole, or Orosi did, and he said Anarion's in there. And he kicked down the door, and Ston was there, and you were on the ground.
I
next to
actually
him.
he was in a bed. He was in a bed.
He was
I don't
not.
think I was
he
in the bed.
He was not.
I
in
was
bed.
Yeah.
on the rug.
I was on a
yeah.
rug. I
Yeah.
thought it was a bed.
He was mostly on the floor though, something soft on the floor. But yes, he was on the floor.
And I could have killed you.
You could have. That's why I'm letting you speak. That's why I'm listening to you. Hello, sir.
So
After that, how did you get captured? What happened?
then,
After Stown made his escape, Molotovs got
wait.
thrown into the windows.
hold on. Before that happened.
Oh yes.
So Orosi, wait, I'm actually not remembering.
So
Did Orosi go in and try to charge Ston immediately?
He got held person. We all got held person.
yeah.
Except you.
the
Sylvia.
Rosie-
You tried to talk to
Yeah.
him for a little bit.
We
Yeah.
tried to talk to him for a little bit. Made sure you weren't immediately dead or dying. And then Stalin was trying to make his way out, and then Orosi charged him. He held person on Orosi, but woefully could not do anything. And then Stalin made his escape by turning invisible and running out down the
That was
hall.
after the Molotov had already been thrown.
Yes. And as the building was continually catching fire, we had to get our way out of there. Fires are nasty, even for the Golden Dragonborn. So we had to make our
So-
way out and give up on the chase.
And once once the Molotov was thrown in, I tried to carry you out of the room and go downstairs, but one
Smoke
of
the
Iljor
heat.
or Arosi realized they had a grappling hook, and then we were
Well,
able
I realized
to
we could get out through the window, and then
descend.
Hiroshi used the grappling.
Yeah.
And we descended out the window, and on the ground were these people, the raiders, and they had this symbol on them, on their armor, and it was
Bird skull and chains.
yeah,
or-
raven skull or something, and a chain.
Narion's eyes go
surrounding
wide.
it.
Black and white trimmed armor.
Yeah.
That's the one.
I think so.
Just doesn't make any sense. They're the
Who are they?
ones that ambushed me and my men in the market square 8 years ago. They killed me. They're the reason this blade found me. I
This
lied on the floor, dying, bleeding, as they walked around and plunged swords into my comrades' corpses, making sure they were dead.
Hmm.
I woke up and they were the first ones this blade tasted.
Ugh. Hiroshi kind of puts a hand on Anarian's shoulder, kind of trying to comfort him.
He's more enraged at this point. Like, he's got his fist clenched, and the only reason his sword isn't in it is because he can't use his magic.
Well,
I thought... He kind of looks to the floor. I thought these bastards worked for him.
so
Could they have found out what you were trying to do, Ston?
I think you have it backwards. I think the new government of Lothlorien works for them. This group of individuals, this cult, this whatever you want to call it.
Well, he meant he thought that these guys worked for the figure the stranger has been hunting, which I would yeah.
This group, this individual, this cult, whatever you want to call it, is from my research in the various cities that this has happened to. There are always events around the city that are blamed on governments elsewhere. Not necessarily scapegoats, but framing. Getting cities or nations to on the brink of war over something just ridiculous. I think they're instilling events, fabricating stories of political assassinations, etc., for their gain, and I'm not exactly sure why.
Are you trying to say they staged the rebellion?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying what they did to the residents. They could have been framing the Barasian people. They could be trying to make it look like Lothlorien was attacked, or some other group was attacked. Maybe Falkirk was attacking the Barasian people for some reason. Maybe there's a...
They're
maybe it has to do-
weakening these cities so that they can take over.
Maybe.
Ston, we need to establish something really important. What were your intentions with Anarion in that room before we came in?
What were you truly going to do with me? If not kill me?
Well, you made your presence known, not just to myself, but the guards of Lothlorien. Your presence was noted, but did not leave the residence. So whatever happened there is now lost. I can't say for sure what I would have done, but what I would have liked to have done is to get answers. Why come back? Why now? What are your intentions?
You really want to know what my intentions were?
It's been 8 years. Why not just leave?
I have no intention of leaving. I plan to save the city. First, coming back, My intentions were to find you, question you, and probably plunge my blade through your heart. I thought you used the events that happened 8 years ago to rise in status. Not only that, but you surviving and running away that night haunted my dreams, thinking that somebody made it out when I was a different person. Since traveling with these people, my mindset has changed slightly from vengeance to just trying to get answers, but ultimately, I want to restore Star Strider Hold back to what it was. And if you're willing to help me with that, I'm willing to set aside our differences and what happened.
I don't know at this moment what's going to happen to me, why I am in this cell with all of you. I don't know what my decision, my choice would be on that matter, but I won't.
Would you like to know what I found out?
What's that?
You said you weren't sure if anybody from the old government survived. I've heard rumors of, if not the leaders of the previous houses, at least members of them. After finding you and, well, doing what I originally had planned to do, I was going to use that to, I don't know, instill hope in the people that have been so downtrodden by this government, been kicked into the dirt, and then find the former members of the rebels, the survivors, and find the old house leaders, and maybe put together a force big enough to take this city back.
It's gonna be a big ask. It's gonna be a big task. If it's true that the leaders of the other houses somehow got out, and maybe out there, maybe they might know something. Maybe they played some part. Why don't we just focus on this situation, getting the hell out of wherever we're at right now?
Agreed.
Do we have our gear, by the way? You never clarified that.
Nope. You have, if you're wearing any metal armor, it's not on you. However, if you're wearing leather or cloth or something to that effect, you still have it on you.
And Rosie is naked.
I got
Apart
a
from his
whopping
t-shirt
10C.
and pants.
He does have his fucking
Caltrop
tavern
Forest
t-shirt.
Yeah.
He's wearing the caltrop.
He wears
Yeah.
that under his armor,
Oh
bro.
shit, yeah, you do have it.
So we're on a boat, correct?
Yes.
Sounds like
Okay.
your items are basically, you have nothing on you.
Yeah.
Well, if I can break out, if I can cast my magic, I can get my weapon. But with these shackles, I try to summon my sword again.
Nothing.
There's no way it's gonna happen.
The plane of where your entity would be, any sort of communication is broke. There's a wall of not necessarily a physical wall, but
Anti-magic.
a wall that is severing the connection between you and your entity.
Stone, would you
Try
have
and do an
any
Arcana
idea
check?
where this boat might be heading? Like, just any direction, anything.
Well, it got cold a couple days ago. I'd say we're heading north. Perhaps around the Horn of Caldera or the Horn of Falkirk. I'm not quite sure if we're heading east or west, but it's north, around, and then back down. I'm not exactly sure where we are now and how far we have yet to go.
Rosie's gonna test the bars I'm assuming, yes, there we go. See how thick they are, see if there are anything that's possibly bendable.
No, they are
No,
strong.
okay then.
They are
They
strong.
are quite strong.
Well, Ston, have you been able to determine anything about these manacles?
I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. No, I mean, can't do anything.
I know you have some arcane knowledge, though. I mean, have you been able to determine any way that we may disconnect them from whatever is making them work?
Good luck.
There's...
There's-
Footsaw magician. Put 2 loops together. We could figure out how to do that. Perhaps we can get our
You cut off, basically.
Yeah.
Everybody's internet shite.
Yeah.
I
Damn.
don't know why mine kept doing that.
Mine's just consistently trash.
Here,
Yeah.
here, Narion, you hold my chains for a moment, and I'm gonna stand on this
There's no
side of the
chain,
room.
basically. There's no
Well,
chain.
Well, they're linked together, but the links just adjust to the length.
No, there are
don't
no
they?
links. There's like
There are
blue
no links?
wisps connecting the
Okay, then I misheard that part then.
Yeah.
Sylvia motions for everyone to like get closer. So, in the event we all get these chains off,
Anaria, get over here.
if we are still on the boat, we can leap off, and I'll cast Water Walk on us.
You can cast
It'll
water
allow
walk
us-
on 5 people.
It'll
I
allow
think-
us. It's up to 10.
I've fought these bastards before. I think we can take this ship. These people don't deserve to. And I point to the people in the cell across from us. They don't deserve to go wherever these men are taking them.
Are any of these people recognizable?
No.
Ryan?
No.
We get these
Hmm.
manacles off.
How
Sylvia,
about
I know you aren't very fond of bloodshed, but it might be our only ticket out of here. But these men are not. They're monsters. They're beyond
can-
monsters.
It can help
Well-
us fake an injury if we need to try to get a guard's attention.
If we get part of my plan here is that perhaps if we are close to Morin's Pass, we could go down to Vriel, the city I had lived in for some time before I joined this group.
How would you get them to Vriel?
Just if we're close.
How would they go to Vriel though?
So Sylvia would go
We don't
down
have the technology.
into Vriel and then try to get whatever
perhaps
breathing apparatus they need, and then come back up to the surface and
Yeah.
give it to them while the water walking is still active. It's active for up to an hour.
We could just go to land.
assuming
if-
land is not that far, and
And
assuming
No,
if
uh,
it's safe
Okay,
to.
I think
Yeah.
we're reaching a bit far here. I think we need to
Although-
focus on getting out of the
I
south.
will say-
everybody.
I will say this
Uh,
boat we're on
Right,
does
I'm
sound
just-
to be creaking.
I am just
If there's a
offering an
storm
option.
out there, how well will the water working work if we got huge waves?
I think
I
we
don't
should
know, but
focus
I
on
am
getting
just
out of this cell.
I am
Yes.
just offering
Yeah, I agree with
an
that.
option.
It is
so-
appreciated.
So, like I said,
So
I think our best bet to probably get out of here be trying to like fake an injury or something like that. Now,
Did you all see the state that I was in when they put me in here?
Well,
Yeah.
you look fine
I
now.
don't think they would care.
I look fine now. I was beat to a bloody pulp before that.
I mean, whatever was ailing you is gone. They have some.
I
type
wasn't
of
worried
No,
about
no,
what
no-
was ailing me.
abilities.
Wait,
I
what?
fought an army of guards before I was captured.
They have
I
some
didn't go
type
down
of-
conscious.
How does the Narion look? Does he actually look like he's still in the same condition?
He's rough.
Yeah.
He's-
okay.
he's-
But
rough.
he's healed.
He
No.
is
uh,
conscious.
He is conscious, but he doesn't look well. He's got a
If he
level
were to
of
get into a fight
exhaustion
right
and
now, he
mechanics.
would be severely inhibited,
Yeah.
as would most of you.
We might
Care
not
about our
be
condition.
here. Here's my plan. The next time they throw sacks over our heads, I'm gonna breathe fire once we've gotten a little bit more rest in us. Then we get to work. But we won't know where we'll be. We won't know what to do.
If we're still shackled, then what?
Can you?
Well,
I mean, could you even breathe fire? I mean,
it's
Not magical.
Is
It
it?
is.
Is it magical in nature? I know it's what are
it's a racial ability. I don't
it
know.
is a
Yeah,
racial
it's like-
ability.
Yeah, it's like
It's like a
innate to your
gland.
race.
Like-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a glandular thing.
Yeah.
Well, here's a plan. I don't know how well this will
I
work.
think that we shouldn't really wait that long because we don't know how long it'll be before they try to take us out of here. I think we need to, like Anarion said, I think we need to try to take this ship.
Well,
Well, first
get
things
the guard-
first, can we get these shackles off?
Well,
But we don't know how yet.
if we get the guard over here, maybe Orosi can use his fire breath to some benefit anyway.
That's what I was talking
Breathe.
about with the faking of the injury.
I don't mean that. Get the guard over here. Breathe the fire on him. One of us can grab him, pull him close to the gate. Maybe snitch the keys off of him.
Now, let me just say, as you guys are talking amongst yourselves, trying various ways to get the shackles off, inspecting them, doing your best to kind of maybe circumnavigate the magic, that whole endeavor is futile. There's no such way that you were able, we'll just say like maybe a couple hours goes by of trying to, get the shackles off.
Start doing like Tai Chi to try to
Yeah.
use.
Before we get too in depth with our planning here, is there actually a way? Because I do see benches in here, but are said benches, capable to be used to wrench these shackles off, or perhaps fuck with the bars? But
So
the wood is softer inherently, so we might not be able to get any progress.
So, the wisps in between are there, but they can move freely through certain things. Most things, actually, that you're able to tell.
So they're magical in nature.
These are just here to
Yes,
keep us from
obviously.
casting spells.
Yes. There are... So Stown kind of lends his
I'm gonna go pee, but I'm
his
listening.
intelligence to this whole situation a little bit, as
Yeah.
he basically informs these shackles work by, they have basically two settings. You're free to move about, and then there is a mechanism which essentially, when you are restrained, they act like regular handcuffs by bringing your wrists together.
They're
Effectively,
like magnetized to each other or something.
kind of, in a way. So they're free to keep you in these restraints at all times, and then during the process of moving or whatever, able to
Just
bring them together. But any sort of action taken to get a guard over, to distract a guard, is not working. The man standing over here may look at you, but you can obviously tell they're well trained and instructed to ignore every plead, ignore every any attempt.
struggle.
Yes,
Well-
any attempt whatsoever. You could be dying. One of you could be killing one another, and you don't think they would be phased.
I have a crazy idea. How about we mash our manacles together as hard as possible?
Well,
That could potentially hurt us nearly as bad.
I don't.
maybe-
Smash them against the bars. Why do you have to hit them against someone else's?
Well, perhaps the manacles are of a stronger metal. Maybe the bars won't do anything.
Anarion. Anarion just walks to the other side and takes a seat on the bench.
And as you,
Or we could wait.
as Narian begins to watch the futile attempts of the rest of the party to try to do something to escape, eventually you guys begin to grow tired. As you're not quite sure what time it is during the day, the best thing to do right now would be to rest. Now, still in the cell, accepting that something will have to be done at some point, but not now. You guys fall into sleep. As the sounds of the sailing ship, you guys should be seeing darkness right now, don't worry.
Yes.
Yep.
As the sounds of the ship begin to drift off into the night, Sylvia.
Horror.
Why is Lotha Red under horror?
I mean,
There was some horrifying shit that's happened there.
yeah, that sure has been.
Can you guys see this?
Yeah. Well, I'm watching your stream,
I'm
so
loading.
yes.
Oh,
Yes, I
Okay,
can see
now
it.
we can see the actual
We sure can see that.
Okay.
boundary.
Damn, we can't spy on Ryan doing his DM shit anymore.
You guys can see this.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
still loading.
Well,
I love the seagulls.
Sylvia.
I'm gonna kick one of them.
it is just you. You are walking down a cold, desolate beach. Cold sand sits between your toes. Walking along this beach, you're unsure of the area where you're at, but the sea stands to your right, waves crashing, and then flowing back out again. Off in the distance, you see a silhouette as you walk towards it. The silhouette sits there, reading a book. As you come closer, you realize it's Carlisle. Unable to speak, though, you come to around 20 or 30 feet. And as you draw closer, his silhouette begins to disappear and float off into the cool night air of the beach. Looking around you, the sights of trees, hills to the left, over lands unknown, and then back out to the sea, your home. Whereas a lot of people would look left and see home among the farmland, among the houses, everything that normal people would be comfortable with and would know a lot about. You instead look to your left and see what people would think of the sea would be, if that makes any sense. Because
Yeah.
when you look out over your right, you see the sea, you see your home, you see things you're comfortable with. This sort of dichotomy of Tritons and
Yeah, I feel
almost
like an
everybody else.
alien.
Yeah, somewhat. Walking down the beach, though, another silhouette stands, ankles in the water. This silhouette, a Triton, you believe. Just as you squint, you can kind of make out the race, wearing this very light white dress, standing, staring out into the sea, this dark, ominous horizon. As you draw closer, the figure is your mother. Quickening your pace a bit to reach her. You come close. She doesn't disappear, but she doesn't acknowledge you. Eyes fixated on the horizon. As you begin to come up, you're still unable to speak. You try to communicate with some sort of mental communication, some sort of way to
Yeah.
have her acknowledge your presence, but to no avail. You see the sides of her eyes looking out, almost terrifyingly, at the sea as you divert your gaze to the horizon. You see amongst the dark clouds an even darker silhouette. the Kraken, Zolkizek, his outline, is amongst the clouds. Miles out at sea, you could practically hold your thumb up, and your entire thumb would cover him. Extremely far. Though you cannot see his eyes, you feel them. And from the horizon comes a giant wave. Tsunami of sorts. Starts off in the distance and begins rumbling forward, silent. Your mother, still looking out at the sea. You look at her. You look back out at Zolkizek. And within a mere few seconds, the tsunami engulfs you and the land, and you're taken out of the dream sequence. Oljor.
Did you give me a moment to look?
You're good. You should see it now, right?
Y'all.
Iljor, walking along forest path. The forest unknown to you. You initially don't really recognize what forest this is, but you feel comfortable enough with really any forest that, I mean, you know where you're going. However, the beaten path below your feet disappears. You look down for the first time in what seems like a long time, and there is no path. And for once in your life, you feel lost within the forest, a feeling you're extremely unfamiliar with. You look down at your feet, your arms. It's still you. It's still Iljor, but you feel as if you're somebody else. Only for the mere fact that you feel lost within a forest. But walking for some time, you come upon a clearing. You come upon an old watchtower, nearly reclaimed by the forest itself. This building doesn't seem to have any significance with any surrounding city or village, so you're not quite clear exactly the history of it. However, something compels you to go inside. Walking up the stone steps to the door, you barely lay your fingertips upon the cold wood and iron as the door swings open. Peering inside, you see a long staircase spiraling up to the heavens. You begin walking and walking and walking for what feels like days until you reach the top of the watchtower. As you peer out among the lands, a wall of black smoke that you had not noticed before encircles the watchtower with a good few miles in diameter. Essentially, almost to the nearest part that you can see out is where the forest fire is essentially engulfing in a ring around you.
So I'm completely trapped.
Basically. This, you are perplexed. You can't help but just stare off in the distance at the fires raging. You feel something in your back pocket. And as you begin to stuff your hands down and kind of search around, somehow a book is placed within your hands. A fairly large tome, actually. Something that obviously could not fit in your back pocket, but due to the physics of the dream world, you're able to kind of take it out. and hold it. This book is the book you found at Elton Van Halen's residence. The book
Storm magic book.
on
the
weather
weather.
manipulation. Something that you have perused, or that you did peruse for a little bit of time while you were in Lothal Ren. But something that you weren't able to get a whole lot of information out of. Whatever this land is, whatever that book, and you're reaching far into your mind for this one. Something clicks in your mind. The sort of barrage of information as you try to rummage through the book is not as necessarily as fast as you can, but trying to gather as much info as you could regarding that book before you had to leave. A name. A researcher. A mage. Someone who is skilled, not necessarily in the art of weather manipulation, but in its history. A name that I will provide in due time. The book has, in your subconscious, effectively embedded itself.
It's
There
like I
are
memorized,
answers.
basically.
Well, there are answers within. And you feel like you're onto something. As you have the book, and through some physical representation of a spell or something, you see the rain around you dissipate, and dark clouds begin to form off in the distance as you've effectively split up the
Summon
rain.
rain.
Well, not necessarily summon, but manipulate where the rain was to somewhere that it wasn't. Interesting. You ponder that book. And yeah, I'll say that. Rosie. Orosi, standing amongst your clan. The clan, going about its daily endeavors. Looking upon various dragonborn and their kin either sparring or having conversations regarding either dinner that night or plans or things to further the clan itself. You step back a moment and take a walk. This sort of dreamlike state that you're in, where it doesn't feel like your feet are necessarily hitting the ground, but more so you are striding off in the fields, the plains, the hills of Falkirk and Coburg, wherever you're at, a place that you can't exactly tell, but sort of an amalgamation of places you had been. Walking along the dirt road off in the fields, you see depictions of figures, whether they be memories or random things your mind is concocting in the moment. Various ghostly apparitions of dragonborn and their kin, clan members in the field to your right, sort of doing other things, though they're not really there because these ghostly apparitions are conducting activities and then suddenly dissipate into the air. Almost like you're seeing visions. Continuing your walk down the beaten path, you round the corner of a tree. The scenery stops you for a moment as you don't quite feel like you are where you were. You see a town below you, much like how you see in the picture. You see a couple denizens here and there. Looks like a regular village. However, a few seconds later, you sort of see what appears to be the swipe, like if you're familiar with the swipe transition. You see the lay of the land kind of formulate in this swipe transition. Go from a quiet village to a scene of hellish fire. This town attacked by something, buildings on fire, people screaming. You can't see anybody. But a battle of sorts. This town that once was so quiet and peaceful now turned to almost nothing. You see the back of a dragonborn begin to walk into the village where things are going on. Just walking. Almost like you were a moment ago. This dragonborn, who you immediately sort of correlate to perhaps a member of the clan, run to him. As you're running, the figure is still walking. No matter how fast you run, no matter how hard you try, no matter how much you breathe, no matter how fast you try to run, you are still so far behind. The figure walks through the village as you see scenes of forest and a hill, and you come upon a cliff. The figure from the cliff walks over and falls into the ravine. You run to the edge of this cliff and peer down. The dragonborn lying on his back. You notice the dragonborn is you. The dragonborn lies within a circle, a symbol of Tiamat. Cult members surround your body in black cloaks. Looking up, you do not see their faces. You don't know who they are. You don't know the race. Just black. And that is where we bring you back to ship. As you awaken,
Can't see anything again.
Yeah, same technical difficulties with the ship.
oh yeah, let me stream again.
There is a crack at the very bottom of the screen for whatever reason. It's like a blindfold.
That's
as
the
if
one
you're
I was
blind.
seeing.
Weird.
Yeah, I could see some I could see a character right here.
If you right click the screen and drag it around, you can see more. Or, well, you can't see more, but
Let me go
It's
ahead
really
and
weird.
put-
I mean, I'll have to figure it out and why that might be doing that. But either way,
And can we
Yeah.
say Anarion is woken up first for
sure.
flavor purposes? He's got. I'll just say when everybody else wakes up, he's just sitting with his hood over his head, and he's got like his hands rested in his, or his face rested in his hands. I say that like that every time.
As many of you come to Anarion in his own world, awoken at some point before you all pondering something, it seems.
I'm pondering.
The ship begins to make different sounds as there seems to be more action in the top floor.
did anybody else have a nightmare last night?
Yes.
I wouldn't. I mean, It was a little bit unsettling, but I wouldn't call mine a nightmare.
Seen a village burning.
Ner-
I saw the Kraken, Zolkazek, the one that destroyed my home.
I felt
An
Felt like
Arion.
it
in
was
the forest for the
staring
first
at me, watching.
Nerion lifts his face from his hands. And we'll say, because it's how we're at in the stream, I'm sitting next to Sylvia at the moment. But he kind of looks up and gazes across at the other two, and then a moment looks over to Sylvia, and you notice his face is like drenched with tears. And he just whispers, was my father's death pointless?
What's up with Stan?
Stan is still out.
Sometimes it's the monsters that make it seem pointless.
Well,
Everything I thought I knew was wrong.
But
I don't
doesn't
know.
it seem like that was the intention all along?
I don't know, Nerion, and I couldn't know, but I can tell you that hurting yourself for the emotions and acting on the emotions you had in the far past is not... It's not ever going to heal anything in you.
You're right.
And it's
Me-
okay to feel that way and go through those emotions again. It's just
I never
Don't,
doubted my decision until now. Everything's changed. I was on a quest of hatred this whole time. Meeting you all has changed me. He puts himself back together, wipes his face, and
I as well. It's interesting being up here, breathing the air. It's different, but I've liked being here with all of you, and you know, if it is to end soon, I don't know where we're going, but
well, as I said when
I'm
we
glad to have been on it.
or
Been
when
on
we
this
met up
journey.
again, I feel like fate it's got something in plan for us.
I believe so as well.
Till our end, to ashes.
Hopefully not ashes. To the things that bud from the destruction.
The sounds of the city, a city, are present. The air is hot, humid. You don't feel like, or I should say, you feel as if you're in a different part of the world. Shortly after waking, one of the guards comes down. Your shackles very quickly fuse together as you now see the mechanism that these are sort of like Rep said, sort of magnetized, not really magnetized, but magically put together.
Like, can we still like rotate them around each other while they're attached, or are they like attached to where?
No,
we
they're
can't
attached. You cannot you can't do like this.
Okay.
They're this.
Okay.
Like no freedom of movement. They're basically like regular shackles if you were,
We're zip tied.
Yeah. Momentarily, probably 5 or 6 guards, accompanied by several others down the hall, begin to take each and every one of you individually out of your cell. First down, then a few minutes later, a Narian, and so on and so on. You were brought up,
Who was last?
Orosi. You are brought up, eventually, to the top deck. The light hits your eyes, blinding you for but a moment, as your eyes begin to focus as a bird flies in front of the sun. You see the desolate dunes of a desert off in the distance. This place, an oasis within a desert. A fairly large city. Lots of people. Different culture altogether. I would like you guys, I should say welcome to Mirage.
Top the street.
Damn.
Oh yeah, we should. I should go back to the other one. Yes.
I'll wait till kind of everybody loads, because I'll give you like a brief idea of kind of what you're working with. It's not terribly great because I don't have like a harbor. However, I want to bring you guys to the world map because
Oh God, Ryan, why?
this city. I know. This city,
We're far from home.
the architecture is familiar in terms of what you have seen and heard about through pictures and history accounts. So you're aware of the city and kind of where it's at. And basically, I just want to show you guys the world map because you unlocked a new area. That's essentially what I'm trying to get at.
Just stream it. Please stream it.
Oh, okay.
Don't
okay.
send us to the world map.
Oh,
It's gonna be like
Don't send a
5
rap
minutes
to
of me loading.
World map.
All right.
oh. Oh my.
Damn.
We're a ways away from home.
We are far from home.
The city of Mirage Barajas. And
Alright.
I will stop the session there. Sylvia, age yourself. Sorry, you missed your birthday.
Too busy being drugged and knocked
yeah.
out.
You spent your birthday in a cell. The woes of a D&D party.
Yeah. Damn.
However, I will try to find incentive for having a birthday, so I'll give you a little something, a little DM prize.
Hey.
We will
Hey.
have a
Hey.
birthday party in
What?
session.
What's my
After
prize?
we
Oh, true. I'll owe you one.
will give them a huge birthday cake. Perhaps
Actually,
with,
sorry.
20
sorry,
years
go
old
ahead.
now.
Go ahead, Rosie, my bad.
I was gonna say we're gonna probably get a birthday cake with a stripper in it. 2 strippers.
Iljor and Sylvia both take an inspiration point for your birthdays, and then I'll get you a little something for in-game.
I mean,
It's
did
actually a spot for
Everybody's
inspiration.
had a birthday at this point, technically.
Everybody had a birthday over the
Went
year-long
40 years,
period,
yeah.
but I think only Iljor and Sylvia have had one while in-game.
Yeah. Time skip does not count.